morning, everybody. My name is Dr. Niamh Howlin, and I'm one of the academic staff here in the law school, and I'm the Associate Dean. And I'm going to speak to you this morning for a few minutes about what it's like to study law at UCD. So I'm sharing my slides with you. Okay, so if we had been on campus this morning, we would have been in this beautiful building, the Sutherland School of Law. If you do join us in the future, we'll really look forward to welcoming you to our building, and you'll see that it's a state-of-the-art, purpose-built law school with lots of space and facilities for students, and we'll return to that shortly. I'd really like to start by saying a little bit about the experience of learning at university. So university learning is different. You will become an active and an independent learner. So our model is not simply that we transfer knowledge or pass on our knowledge to you. What we do is we teach you how to think critically for yourselves, and we teach you how to find things out for yourselves. So we don't just talk about legal principles in a vacuum, for example. From the very beginning of your legal studies, you'll start to see how law operates in practice, and how law affects our daily lives and the way that we interact with other people. And you'll be learning in different ways. So you'll write essays, you'll collaborate on projects with classmates, you'll be carrying out research projects, you'll do presentations, mock courts or moots. And we have a mix of large classes and smaller groups or tutorials where you'll get more one-on-one interaction with your teachers. You'll spend a lot less time in the classroom than you might be used to if you come from secondary school. Usually only a couple of hours a day in normal times, and slightly less than that in this year's first half of the year. And the time that you're not in the classroom, you'll be expected to figure out a way to find a balance between studying and all the other activities that are a really important part of your university experience. So if you're studying law in UCD, you can approach it in a few different ways. You can study law on its own, or you can combine it with another subject. And we have 10 different law degree programs. So if you're interested in history, philosophy, politics, social justice, economics, for example, you can add one of these onto your law degree and study them both together. What this really means in practice is that for most of these, you'll spend 2/3 of your time studying law and 1/3 of your time on the other subject or the other discipline. If you are to study business and law, it's more of a 50-50 split. So it's a slightly different structure. It's a 50-50 split for the first couple of years, and then towards the end of your business and law degree, you may have figured out that you prefer one discipline over the other, and you can choose to specialize then in whichever one appeals to you most. Although there are 10 different degree programs, if you're applying through the CIO, there are only 2 CIO codes. So DN 610 is for business and law, and then DN 600 is for all the other law degree programs. So they're all called Bachelor of Civil Law. Once you've chosen your law degree program, you spend the first 2 years studying what we would consider the foundational subjects. And these are the same across all the law degrees. So everyone takes more or less the same subjects at the beginning. So you'll take subjects like criminal law. What is the difference between murder and manslaughter? And is there ever a good excuse or a defense for violence? You'll do contract law. So what makes a contract or an agreement between people valid under the law? And is it possible to get out of a contract or an agreement if you change your mind? You'll do tort. So what is your responsibility towards other people that you interact with on a daily basis? Property law. So what does it mean to own something? And if you do own something, does that mean you can do whatever you want with it? You'll do EU law. So what does EU law cover? And is it actually part of Irish law? And constitutional law. So what are the rules for how our country is to be run? And what are people's basic fundamental rights? So these are all the foundational subjects you'll do in your first couple of years. And then in your third and fourth years, you will have more freedom to specialize in subjects which really appeal to you. So you might develop an interest in human rights law, or banking law, or maybe criminal justice or international law. So you get a lot of choice in your third and fourth years in relation to the subjects that you study. As well as all of this, you will have opportunities to study abroad. And we do actively encourage our students to consider taking either a semester or a full year studying abroad in another law school. If you were to study law with Chinese, with Irish, or with French law, that period of time abroad is built into your degree. But if you're taking any of the other law degrees, you have the option to apply to spend maybe a half year or a year in another country. Now, this map will give you an idea of the kinds of places that you might find yourself on an exchange. Some of these are places where you will need to be proficient in another language, and many of them are also places where you'll be able to take your studies through English. So we have exchange programs set up with law schools all around Europe, North America, Asia, Australia, you can find out more about that in the Q&A part. Dr. Marr has already mentioned that a law degree can really take you many places in terms of your career. So you don't necessarily have to become a solicitor in an office or a barrister representing clients in court. Those are just two of the very many different types of career that a law degree can lead to. And to help you to figure that out over your time in UCD, we have dedicated careers support to help you to figure out where your strengths lie, what motivates you, what interests you the most, and what type of career would be best suited to you. So the UCD Careers Network do recruitment fairs specifically targeted at law students. They run workshops, they have one-to-one sessions, they bring employers on campus, they'll help you to put together a nice CV, they'll help you to prepare for interviews, and they'll give lots of information about things like internships, where you can get work experience over the summer periods. Professor Marr also mentioned that we have several different access routes for studying law in UCD. So the majority of our students will come in through the CIO, but we also have mature students entry, we have entry routes for international students, we have FET entry, and you can find out all about these various different access options afterwards at the myucd.ie chat, or we can point you to the relevant parts of the UCD website. And we really embrace diversity in UCD Law School, and we welcome students from a range of backgrounds, from different countries, from different educational backgrounds. And that brings us to the end of what I wanted to talk to you about this morning. I thought I'd end with another lovely view of the outside of the law building. At this point, we would usually bring you on a nice tour of the building to show you all the facilities and show you where you'll be spending your time. And because this is a virtual summer school, we're going to do it slightly differently this year, and we're going to show you a short video which gives you a flavour of the physical facilities, and it also shows you what it's like to study law at UCD. So thank you very much for your attention.